Let's talk about another weird deep sea fish while I wait for my friends to get here so we can go get drunk in my garage. This is the Viperfish, a fun and spicy deep sea fish. So this thing is pretty common. It lives in mainly tropical and temperate oceans and seas around the world, so they're kind of everywhere. They typically live in deeper sea zones from around 9,000 feet max, and so they can be found in places like the Mariana Trench as well as just other deep sea places. So they're not that big. They tend to max out around a foot or so in length, but you can see that they have these ridiculously large fangs, teeth, that are occasionally long enough to, if they don't shut properly, they can puncture the brain. So that's fun for them. I'm back. It is the next day now. I had a wonderful time getting drunk and watching horror movies. Love that for me. Let's continue talking about this horror movie guy. So, viperfish do this thing that is actually pretty common in quite a few deep sea fish called diel-vertical migration, which means when they need to feed, they come out of the depths of the ocean up to relatively more surface areas where there's more food. While they're up there, they eat and then go back down to depth. Because there is not very much food down where they live, they need to come up in order to hunt better because there's more stuff up there because it's a lot nicer to live. Now, they don't do this super islands. They don't do this super often. They only need to eat every few days. They have a pretty slow metabolism, like lots of things down there, again because food is pretty rare, so you don't want to be having to be constantly eating or else you would die because there's no food. So since they tend to come up to more surface areas, you actually might be able to see these sometimes if you are in the regions where they come up to feed. So that's fun. I forgot that I have screenshots and I forgot to put the screenshots in. Viperfish. So like many deep sea creatures, they are capable of bioluminescence. They have bioluminescence along their bodies that is thought to help with camouflage, helping blend in with the little bits of light that does manage to get all the way down to the ocean floor. They also have this little my finger's disappearing, but that little sticking up thing, that is a bioluminescent lure that is used to lure their prey in, kind of like an anglerfish. Anglerfish are the most famous for this, but viperfish do it too. So they have that little dangly bioluminescent bit where it lures their little prey in, and then they grab them with their terrifying fangs. You can also see in this photo, there's those little kind of glowing spots on the sides. That is camouflage bioluminescence, most likely. What's also interesting about these guys is they actually don't have scales, like traditional fish scales. They don't have those and are instead covered by this kind of slime layer that, at least according to Wikipedia, we don't know what it's made of yet. It's just said a kind of a slime coating of unknown composition. So that's interesting. So yeah, here's another very interesting deep sea fish.